My name is Hakeem Brown, and I can't breathe.
Hakeem and Reggie Brown are two young black boys. They were so upset with the current situation in the world, they started their own podcast. They grew up in the suburbs until their parents got divorced. They were homeless, living in the streets. Now they live in the ghetto with their grandmother. This is their story. This is Pop City Culture. Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello again. So, I am Hakeem, and I'm here with my brother, Reggie.
My name is
we're
Reggie.
Here to
You
talk
gotta
about
tell people my name.
a whole lot of things today. So, it's really going to be interesting.
Sure
I want to
is.
get my brother's,
What?
I want to get his opinion on stuff.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world.
A whole lot of stuff.
But we're going to shift focus
Yep.
because I want to talk about coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
And that's what the whole thing is today. We're going to have that question.
Yep.
The question is, Reggie,
I ain't gone nowhere. Hurry up.
the question is this. How do you feel about iCorona in the United States?
I think it's bad, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the virus is bad. It seems like a lot of people are dying all over the world. But, I mean, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I do know people are getting sick, and we all got to wear these masks on our face, and we got to do the social distancing. And, it's tough because now I know when I go to stores and I want to get something, I got to be waiting outside, man. And sometimes it's cold, man. It is cold Medina, like you can't believe.
Yeah, that's right. So, let's just say some things first.
All right, what you got?
First, all over the world, people are dying.
Yeah, they are. This is true.
So this is a real virus. We're not going to say it's not a real virus. They think it originated in China. But in any case, let's give some statistics. This is the statistics per million. You ready? In Italy, it's a lot. It's a huge. It's 573 deaths per million. But I had heard that there's a place in Italy where people go to retire, and a lot of the people who are sick and dying are in that community.
I heard the same thing. So I don't really know. I wonder what's going on in the rest of Italy because they don't say much about that. But yeah, I do hear a lot of numbers.
Yeah, that's right, Reggie. Now, in France, it's 455 deaths per million. In Sweden, it's 515 deaths per million. In Spain, it's 606. And in the UK, it's 637 per million. And Belgium, that's, you know where that is?
Yeah, man, that's where they make the waffles.
No, I don't think that's where they make the waffles, Reggie.
I think it is.
Okay, anyways, it's 839 deaths per million. But you know what sort of doesn't make sense?
What?
It says New York is in the lead.
Well, what's the number?
The number is 1,611 deaths per million. That's the whole state. That's twice the numbers of other countries. So I don't really understand exactly why the numbers are so high, but I mean, people are sick.
That's right, they sick. And you know what? I think it's all Trump's fault because I don't think Trump did enough.
Reggie, do you want me to give you the timeline?
Hakeem, you can give me whatever you want. I know you got all them papers there. Why don't you just say it?
Okay. So, in December 31st, China did report a discovery of the coronavirus to the World Health Organization. That's the WHO. And then in January 3rd, the CDC director, Robert Redfield, sent an email to the director of the Chinese CDC, George Gale, formally offering to send U.S. experts to help see what's going on over there.
Well, what happened?
Well, they tried to work together, but we weren't really getting the whole picture. So, January 27th, President Trump tweeted that he made an offer to President Xi Jinping to send experts to China to investigate the corona outbreak.
Well, what happened then?
Well, I don't think he probably took him up on it because, you know, there was a whole lot of some issues or something. It was a lot of it was political. But January 27th, the CDC issued a level 3 travel health notice urging Americans to avoid all non-essential travel to
Yeah, I
China
remember
due
that.
to the coronavirus. And then I do remember January 31st, President Trump declared the coronavirus a public health emergency and announced the Chinese travel restrictions and suspended entry into the United States for foreign nationals who posed a risk to transmitting the coronavirus.
Yo, man, that's because he's a xenophobe. He don't like nobody who ain't American.
Come on, Hakeem. I said all this stuff, and are you saying the president didn't do his job? Because it sounds like he was on top, he was on the ball, he was on his game. He got the stuff done at that point. Now, it's true, people have mixed messages on whether or not he's doing his job, but I'm almost thinking a lot of it's political. It seems like it's Republicans against Democrats and Democrats against Republicans. Are you saying you don't see that?
Well, I don't really see a whole lot of that stuff, but I do know they be arguing, and yeah, they don't work together, and they're supposed to be setting an example for us. So maybe you might have a point.
I think I got a real good point. So just give me my little kudos right there. Anyways, when all this happened, people were coming down heavy on Trump, and I remember that. I don't really know really exactly the whole situation with Trump and the virus, but I will say for any president who is president, they have a very tough job, and I'm sure it's beyond tough, and they're always going to get looked at and second guessed, but what are you going to do?
I don't know what you gonna do. Well,
I will tell you what Trump did do. He sent FEMA to New York, and they had 2,000 ventilators. I mean, it seems like he's doing a lot of stuff, but it seems like he's getting a lot of backlash too. But anyways, we have the rioters.
that's right. Them rioters were all over, but they still rioting.
Yeah, Reggie, but remember we decided we weren't really going to talk about the rioters and all that stuff because we wanted to just talk about the coronavirus. So I'm thinking rioters are probably immune to the coronavirus because didn't hear a whole lot of people getting the virus who were rioting, and you're not supposed to be in that close proximity of people, wouldn't you say?
Well, absolutely. You're supposed to be like 6 feet away, and I saw a lot of the videos. People were like all together. They were like mob mad together. But I don't know. And you know what? I think you're being a little bit sarcastic, Hakeem. I think you know full well that rioting don't make people immune to a virus. So why don't you just move on? You sounding sort of stupid right now.
Okay, whatever you say, Reggie. So people are really getting upset with wearing the mask, and there's a whole lot of backlash about that. Some people say that when you wear the mask, you're breathing in CO2, which your body expels, and that's not good for you.
Well, of course it ain't good for you. It's like putting your mouth on a tailpipe of a car and sucking in the CO2. You're probably going to die.
So, Reggie, would you admit that the mask could pose a threat?
I'm not admitting to nothing, man, because you seem like you're always trying to set me up. So we should just move on.
Okay. All right, whatever you say. My dad, as you know, Reggie, he was going to take us on vacation to Florida, but there's another outbreak there because a lot of the people are, I guess, partying on the beaches and are going to a lot of the restaurants, and they said that the coronavirus spiked up.
So he had wanted to take us to Universal Studios and possibly Disney, but Universal Studios has been closed for a long time in the haste of the coronavirus, and you have to wear a mask when you go in there now.
So my dad said he's not going to go to Florida in 100 degrees weathers wearing a mask because he doesn't think that would be good. He's worried about us breathing because Reggie has asthma and...
Yo, man, you ain't got to keep telling everybody my business. What's wrong with you? Why don't you knock that off, man?
Okay. Anyways, my dad was even thinking about taking us on a cruise. But right now the cruises are closed, so I'm sure that's hurting the industry very bad because, My dad did take us on a couple cruises before, and we had a blast.
Yeah, that's right, man. We went everywhere. That was really cool, man. I ain't ever gonna forget that. I would tell everybody they should try a cruise at least once in their life. We were real lucky, though. You know, my dad got lucky because my dad, he makes a lot of YouTube videos. So, you know, that's cool.
Yeah, he does. So, back here, school is going to be starting because it's summertime. But from what I understand, a lot of the colleges are going to be starting early in August. And a lot of their classes are going to be online. Now, they're going to allow the students to be on campus. But a lot of the classes are going to be online unless they're labs or they have to be there in the class for some reason. And that's for the protection of the professors, I heard. I'm not quite sure.
Well, that's what my friend told me. She's going back. Her name is Myasin. She got a YouTube channel, too. But anyways, yeah, she was saying she's going back. She was supposed to graduate this summer. But, you know, everything was closed, so she had to suck it up. And she'll be going back in the fall.
Yes, she will. But what gets me, Reggie, is the 6-foot distancing. I mean, if they allow the students back on campus, they have to eat, don't they? And I remember Maya said that when she goes to the DCs, which are the dining commons or cafeterias, they're packed with everybody. Everybody's there. So how can you not come into contact with something? I mean, you can't wear your mask when you eat, can you?
Yo, man, you know you can't. Why you asking me something like that? Do we wear masks when we eat here unless you put a hole in it and you got to eat your food through a straw? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Reggie, I know what you're saying. But anyways, you know, it is summertime and the beaches are open, especially in Florida. And people are still going on the beaches, and they might be getting a lot of people sick too. So that's not good. Anyways, with the corona in America, let's just talk about that. You know, 126,000 deaths in America. Now, I'm talking about America. I'm not talking about the other countries. That's quite a lot of people. I'm just hoping that people this summer are safe and they take care and they take all the precautions they can, because, you know, everybody's life does matter, and we don't want people dying of a virus like that. That's a horrible, horrible thing. And it affects both young and old, right? Right, Reggie?
Yo, man, right. Why you gotta keep pointing me out like that? You know, it's like you always, you know, you see me doing something or you see me getting distracted, and then you gotta bring me back in here.
Well, Reggie, this is our podcast. You have to pay attention. I mean, I see you looking around. You're over there eating something, and then you're reading something a second ago. You know, you got to stay on the ball.
Yo,
here.
man, I am on the ball. I'm listening. I can do one thing and two things, and I can listen. So you ain't got to be all like that. Yo, man, why don't you just finish up and do your stupid little words of wisdom crap going on? Are you even done yet?
Yes, Reggie, I'm done. If you want me to do my words of wisdom, I'll do them now. So, okay, here's some words of wisdom. The coronavirus is a real thing. I'm not saying that it's not, so don't confuse my words. As a young generation in the United States, we kids do feel immune to many things, as adults did when they were children, when they thought they were Supermen and nothing could ever happen to them. But we as young adults are trying to find our path in life. But we have to tell the older generation, by knocking us down because we want some of the same freedoms and enjoyment that you older generation had, it's not helping. It's not helping us. It's not helping anybody. And it's really destroying any kind of a dialogue that we could have. It just makes us younger generation rebel more and more. You say that we young people don't care about the old and use our grandparents as a shield for your rhetoric. Well, we love our grandparents and we love our parents, and we would never want anything to happen to them. We say you are mean and cruel to say something like that and not give us any positive words of wisdom. In America, as of today, 126,000 people died of the coronavirus. That's in the United States. Let us remember that 80,000 die of alcohol, 500,000 die of cancer, and almost 1 million die of cigarettes. And there is a young generation who have their own thoughts of what a pandemic is. Like, we care about the homeless. That's a pandemic. Kids who go to bed hungry, that's a pandemic. Depression and opioids, those are pandemics, in our opinion. Let us not forget that each year people, and many die of the regular flu. But has anyone ever wondered how many survive the coronavirus? More than 80% of the coronavirus are mild. I don't know if people can remember, but years ago, there was another virus called SARS and MERS. It killed much more higher numbers of people. Over 1 million people have survived this virus. That's a positive note. 126,000 have died of this virus. And from the Spanish flu in the United States, 675,000 people died. Let's all be safe, no matter what the age. And let's remember one thing. Every year in the United States, 3 million people die. Thank you for listening to my words of wisdom. Now, Reggie, you can finish up.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to Azadoria Ray. She's our marketing manager. And I want to give a shout out to Price Van Ray. He's our producer. He's a nationwide author. Actually, he's a worldwide author because his books are on Amazon, paperback and Kindle. He wrote the gay book. It's really awesome. So you guys ought to go check that out. So that's it. All right, Hakeem, you can take it away.
I want to thank everybody for joining us today and listening. I want everybody to be safe, sound, and happy. So go out there, be happy, and do the right thing. See you guys next time on Pop City Culture.